think the beauty of the new insolvency regime, and that was what we and others lobbied for quite some time, is that it now provides a new tool to the toolbox. It's not that it's one size fits all, that it is a tool for every situation, but it is something which makes insolvency a real alternative for restructuring. It increases the predictability of the proceedings. It does away with the uncertainty about which administrator do you get, and I think through that it will lead to a much higher professionalism in those proceedings. And what we already see is that people look at this tool and no longer are afraid of insolvency in Germany, but see that as a real tool. We are not yet there where the US is with Chapter 11, but we are moving into that direction. I think there are some sectors where it's much easier to use that tool than in others. Let's speak about solar industry, for example. Solar industry is a very liquidity intensive business. You have the capex requirements which you constantly have, and you simply need to have someone to fund that. Yes, we have funding providers, and also under the new law we will have more people coming in to provide DIB loans into Germany, but still that is an issue. You have other sectors like the automotive industry where you have a very experienced professional customer base, the OEMs, who are willing and have shown in the past that they are capable of providing bridge financing. It's not something they like to do, but they see the necessity of that. So in that industry it's much easier to live through and use the new techniques. Coming from Hamburg, that is an obvious question. I think the shipping sector, and we have for quite a number of years now said the shipping sector is to come, but I think it really is. The reason for that is that banks have so far not really been able to take action, to accept haircuts, for the simple reason that if you agree on a haircut in one situation, you have to kind of impair your entire portfolio. And people are still hoping for the recovery of the industry. It's a very volatile industry. You had record year high years immediately followed by record low years. So really it's very volatile. But I think that if the German banking regulatory and the EU Commission looks more deeply into that sector, what we will see is more selling activity. We have seen banks moving out of that sector, and that also increases the pressure on the situation to do something. And I think we will really see much more situations there. What we see these days is that we see shipping companies, small shipping companies, the one-ship SPVs, the KGs, to simply fall into insolvency. But I think we will see more creative structures than that, and people like us and others in the industry are working on those. So I'm quite hopeful as to that industry.